Hey there, folks. Lona here with Where the Hell Have You Been update. And yeah, there's a little story behind that. Sadly, it's personal and I can't tell it to you. But, so yeah, when I say it's personal, it never means that it's a good thing, right? Of course. So let's just say it's a personal thing, and I had to shift away focus from YouTube for a little while. And yeah, maybe I was available, but let's just say I was not in the proper state of mind for recording. You know, when you're not in a great mood, don't record, right? That kind of thing. You push it off onto others. So, that all said, it's probably easier for you to just not see that. Shifted focus away, and things are kind of coming back together here. So I'm kind of ready to work back into it. Why are we on the title screen of The Long Dark? And that is just to simply note that story mode that I said I'd come back to a couple of years ago is finally coming August 1st, which is like a week's time. So that's coming up, and it'll be about as long as Kona was if the developers stick true to what they said was about the proper gameplay. So probably around 10 episodes thereabouts. Okay, so with that said, you probably want to know about Magic Duels. That was one of the things. Its support ending kind of is one of those things. I'm going to just jump into a game. Its support was ending was one of those things that kind of made it easier for me to just simply walk away for a little while, because it's like, well, I mean, it's not really doing anything interesting or new. So with that said, yes, I do plan on resuming it, but it'll probably be a minor thing on the channel, much like how it started. It was kind of I felt like doing it. It was kind of one of those things that I kind of did at the very beginning, as I felt like doing it and nobody was watching anyway at that point in time. So it was a thing. Wow, did they ever buff up the look of this place? Anyways, so with all that, I just wanted to kind of just throw that out there that it's still going to be included for a while. And yes, I have tried to get some other games in the works here, but I didn't actually like most of the card games that were floating around. It's just something about them flashing, hey, you've got money or you need to spend money, sort of being crammed down my throat, that I just don't seem to like about games. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, no, I really don't feel like it. The closest I ever got to spending money on a game was, I think, Duels, and that's because it didn't remind me about it. Because I did enjoy the game in that regards. So, yeah, it's I've been kind of trying to find a game like that. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the next one I have to test out. It's not exactly recent. It's probably a year or two old or something like that. So somewhere around that range. And oh god, the light's going to go. Shit. Anyway. Yoink.
Nobody knows this anymore.
So yeah, I'm still testing around for games in that respect, just trying to find something still useful or interesting in that regards. Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, that's more one that's well known. Dude, what are you doing?
I wonder if I can drop any of this.
Anyway, I've also got a list of some other things, like I'll need a long-term series as well. Why are you touching that lantern? Stop touching the lantern. No touch. Anyways, so as I'm rifling through all of these things, I'll probably just run down the list of. I just basically went through my Steam library and basically pulled out anything that's remotely interesting. So I'll just run through that list now, and some could be long-term, some can be short-term, but it's a whole bunch of content that can be addressed at one point in time or kiboshed at this exact moment, sort of thing. And I'm sure that your suggestions will help figure that out. So, let's just let the light fade while I run through the list, and you get a nice little light show here as it never mind. Where's the other one? Give me the other one. Give me the. There we go. Oh, it's nearly full. All right, so we'll be able to continue. Okay, so first one on the list that I probably would mention right off the get-go is probably Skyrim, except they changed the search mechanism. My Skyrim is ridiculously modded, by the way. Like, I just went on the philosophy mod until it breaks, but it never broke, so, I mean, there you go. I kept adding mods, so, I mean, I'm gonna get used to that one of these days. So I kept modding it, and its mostly primary focus is on content, and not so much the visual aspects. So, but the visual aspects are there. There's a bunch of visual mods in it, but I didn't want to go running around going, "Oh wow, this game is so pretty," and all this, like 99% of other people. I wanted to have some actionable stuff you can watch, stuff that's going on, that kind of thing. And I think I pretty much set it up with a bunch of content, and a number of them are just simply random things you can run into, stuff with rewards. High-end game rewards, so I mean, the infinite show cooldown sort of random stuff is not inherently in the game, but I mean, it is a reward at the end of a path, for example. You want to go for that path, go right ahead. So that is available. Anyways, spoken long enough about Skyrim. On the list is the Long Dark and Magic Duels, where I've already addressed that they will be appearing. And then there were some other ones, like a lightly modded RimWorld, mostly because I wasn't a fan of most of the mods available for RimWorld, so I didn't put much effort or focus into it. Just a few ones that are quality of life and a couple content additions, but I mean, there's not much content to add to RimWorld, unfortunately. You could probably do like a whole Star Wars theme, but I don't think there's much of anything else beyond that, so it's a lightly modded one. And then moving on to other things. Let's see, Weapon Shop Fantasy. It was a little stint that I wanted to do, just a few episodes of something, but I never actually got around to it, so that's a thing. It's another game. It's kind of it came out in that whole tree of blacksmith games when it came out, so it's not 100% new, but it is. Stop that. It's also there. Most of these games will probably be in the 3 months to a couple years range, sort of thing. Random others, Borderlands 2 I had written on the list. I've got Sheltered and...
I'm gonna need to rest soon.
Did I say Shadow of Mordor? It's there. Darkest Dungeon came out with a recent expansion as well, so that is one of those things that I was also considering. Kind of got the idea from... Well, I mean, the expansion, not to mention Super Labman doing a few trunk streams on it. That's kind of a fun thing, but yeah, it was one of those things I figure I might jump on top of as well. And then we run down the list. Rogue Legacy was an old one that's fun every now and then. Stardew Valley, depending on how it's laid out. So, I mean, Stardew Valley's one of those things. You kind of got to have something going in, or else it's a pretty boring series. So, I figured that would require a little planning if you guys were interested in that. Unturned was popular amongst a few of my friends, so I considered that. Empyrean, I don't own that one, but I considered that because a lot of my friends actually do that one as well. Victor Vaughn recently came out with an expansion, and that's something I do own, and it's kind of like a Diablo 2-esque thing. And let's see, Stellaris is the last one on the list, but unfortunately for me, Stellaris I need to actually afford my new processor for, and I'm well on the way for it. I'll probably be getting that pretty soon, and I've been enjoying the crap out of Stellaris, so it's pretty fun, and it's one of those 4X games, and yeah, I wouldn't mind trying that one out myself. On video, that is. It would be a long series as well. So there's a few long and short things that I've been wanting to reformat the channel with, and just kind of transition into some content that is maybe getting updates or is more interesting or different than what we've already done. So it's all there. It's a list of all the things there. Hey, buddy. Hey, they're really keeping us going with the
Barely walk
lanterns.
with this much gear.
Oh, quit complaining. So, in any case, I've given you kind of a list of things. Tell me what you're interested in. I know there's an arrow here. There it is. So, yeah, tell me what you're interested in and what of that list might appeal to you as a series, even if it's the short or long one, just to kind of throw it in there. You want to see my take on it? Fine, no problem.
I'll take it.
But yeah, there's a few that I've done some work to try and prepare for, and a few that I've done a little less. But I mean, it's all something I can try and pull together if you guys are interested in them. That was just a kind of a list in a vacuum, if you will. Just a bunch of things that sound like they would be interesting, or things I've personally watched at one point in time.
This stuff will
So
come in
I
handy.
figured that, maybe somebody, some of you might enjoy some of the other things, some of them involved there. So, with that said, I think we can walk away from this, and I'll try and integrate back in. And sorry for the delay in everything, folks. I'll see you later, and bye-bye.